Good morning. Today is day 5 of the live feed dance. Oh my God, I love you so much. Say 3 times. Oh my God, I love you so much. Okay, one more time and bring emotion to it. Oh my God, I love you so much. And then feel the resonance of it through your body. So I do these live feed just to share a little bit more of a practice that can be used to bring more awareness to your body, more consciousness into your choices, the element of fire. And today I'm going to guide you through some Kai. So Kai is a creative dance movement practice that I created 5 years ago. It's 5 years old, going on 6. And I created it after teaching other movement forms, other kinds of dance for 30 years, and health and wellness and fitness for 30 years. I started in 1987. And so Kai was a natural progression for me to integrate my experience and to offer something that fully utilized my talents and something that I could serve the community with. So it developed, and some of the concepts behind Kai include the elements, and that's one of the reasons I dance also in the morning, to just really feel the elements more deeply in my body. And then when I teach Kai, I guide from a place of going into my body and using the elements as energizers when I'm guiding people. So we can do a movement and bring the earth element in and be calling on more stability and more stillness behind the movements. Or I can do the same movement and call on fire and let the energy of fire move energy through me like a flame and feel the heat in my body. Feel transformation happening in a single move. It can be the same move, but the energetics behind it are different. And that's one way that we use the elements through Kai. There are 21 movements in Kai. It's blended with authentic movement. Authentic movement's one of 7 concepts. So it's really this microcosm of a lot of things that are integrated together to make Kai this really amazing practice. So authentic movement is one of the ingredients. So when you see me dancing out here and I'm doing authentic movement, that's not exactly Kai. What I'm going to show you next is Kai, which blends both authentic movement and the 21 moves put together in patterns that challenge the brain. So the big mothership of Kai, the big reason of creating it, what it will do for you, what you'll get from it, is neuroscientists call it neuroplasticity. It's where we build new neural pathways in the brain. So when we're doing authentic movement, we're accessing the capacity, the practice of witnessing ourselves. And it's also getting to know ourselves. So getting to know who is the self that's witnessing? What is the voice and the attitude and the personality of the part of you that is noticing what you do? And ideally, we start to peel off the layers of the judgments and the criticisms and the part of us that wants to analyze, and we just become a neutral watcher of the self as we move. So that aspect comes right through Kai from the beginning, and it's something, as you practice it, class by class by class, you become better at witnessing yourself from a deeper place of truth, and you learn from your body. So the body wisdom starts to reveal itself, and we also practice body alignment as well. Where is our body in space? And that activates the kinesthetic awareness of our brain. So when we start to do the witnessing, we're working with the higher cortices of the brain. At first, if you never have done that before, you might find it very challenging at first. And the thing I can say is to be in a beginner's mind and let it become a practice. And over time, you'll be able to articulate your experience in a way that resonates with what happened for you. And that is a wonderful skill to have. It opens up the voice, it opens up expression, and it gets us to, it's really healing to integrate an experience that we had with our words and with our voice, or even just with our thoughts, if you feel like you don't want to share with words what your experience was. So it's healing for body image, it's healing for body shame. It helps us to become a lot stronger, not just physically, because physically it will. Every class has a cycle, like in nature. So we start slow, we start with mindfulness, we start with breath, we start with feeling where our body is and what's happening in it this morning. Then it goes into a peak where we really get fiery, or we start to work with more extremes of watery movement that's splashing, like a tidal wave of movement, or like fire, which can be crackly and poppy and transformational. The heat of the body's intense. And from there, we come back down, and we start to come back down into earth element, which we work with the physical strength of the body, the bones, the joints, the muscles. We start to get a little more quieter in our heart, and our mind comes into a deep place of peace before we leave class. So we have that cycle in class, and we start to attune our body into cycles versus time, like 60 minutes in an hour, or a 12-month calendar can be very structured and very linear in the mind. But if we come into cycles with our body, we start to attune ourselves to the shifts in seasons, we go through as people, to changes, things that we're starting that are new and things that we're ending, and we start to dance, and dance can become an expression of that, honoring something that we don't have many places in the world that honors those different transitions that we all go through our life. So it's very unique, and goes through all these different places that we can dance with Kai. One of the gifts of practicing authentic movement, so you're using these different parts of your brain with the 21 moves, is that we're integrating the two halves of our brain. If we only did freestyle movement all the time, we're missing out on so many gifts of the choreography. And the choreography is going to teach us more where our body is in space within a structure. Where do we hold our creativity within the structure of a world around us? How do we become down into the world and bring all our spirituality and our creativity and our higher wisdom? How do we bring that into the world, into physical manifestation, into how we are expressing ourselves in a community? And that's where the integration of the right hemisphere, that is creative, that's exploring, that looks into the unknown, that explores things that aren't there yet. And then the left side of the brain is the logical side. It's where we're linear and we're learning. We're looking and seeing how do I fit my unique self into that movement. And gosh, that's an exploration in and of itself that can be so beneficial in life. And what happens with the brain is there's a piece in the brain between the right and left hemisphere. It's called the corpus callosum, that when we start going from the right hemisphere, the creative side, to the logical side, to the creative side, to the logical side, it builds agility and resiliency. It makes it so when we get in life and we have to be logical, and then no, we have to be creative, we have to be logical, we have to be creative, we are used to doing it, and we can stay focused, and we can hold bigger concepts and create bigger things in the world. So it's super healthy for the brain. At first, when I see new people, sometimes they step back and I can see confusion come in, or they lose their focus, or they get distracted. And it's really a loving space to say, okay, just come back to your feet. Just come back and feel your feet. And then over time, their ability to hold all this dynamic quality, the neuroplasticity has started to build neural maps in the brain, and all of a sudden they're sharing on all different levels how our unique experiences in class start to flow out into their life, and things start to make sense. So they have this broader perspective to put life into that is grounding, that feels like it makes sense of some of the chaos around us. So that is the big, long definition of Kai. I'm going to share with you a song now and guide you through it. And the simple definition of Kai: it's fun, it's playful dance done barefoot that feels good for the body, mind, spirit, and emotion. Or I could just say the body. Sometimes even body, mind, spirit, emotion is like too dynamic. It's good for the body. Relaxes the nervous system, releases stress, makes you sleep better at night, and it builds community. So here we go. I feel so honored to share it, to teach it. Say hello where you're watching from. I'd love to know where everybody
Powering on. Welcome to All-Tech Lansing.
The song I'm going to teach you is not one that I have formulated as choreography yet. I'm going to be playing a little bit with the movements, and it's for a dance called Roots that's not quite ready yet, but we are just going to play. Okay, you ready? Take your shoes off. I'll try to get in the middle of the sun here. Draw your legs together. Let your toes spread. Feel the earth underneath your feet and stay nice and tall, floating up. All right, left side. Bring it into your body. Open it up.
Yeah, that's my love.
Other side.
She
Hand to heart.
hides away like a ghost.
Last time. All right, we're going to round the spine like a cat back.
Does she know that
And inhale, push into your feet to come up. Exhale. Breath in. Sense your shoulders. One more time. Now just follow your hand. Eyes follow your hand. Imagine you're painting with that hand.
She's always my love. I am searching high, I'm searching low.
All right, last time. Follow your right hand.
Does she know that we ain't the same? Just come home.
Reverse it. Here we go. Strengthening into your core. Last two. Good. Take your hands and make a handprint on the earth. Draw up, spinal roll.
Holding my blood.
Pushing into the earth.
She was carried up into the clouds.
One more time.
High above.
Both hands, let them paint.
If you're dead, I'll bleed the same. Ooh, if you're scared, I'm on my way.
Take that hand, paint, put it right on your heart.
Did you run away? Did you run away? I don't need to know.
Now both arms.
But if you ran away, come back home.
All right,
Just
circles.
come home.
Let your body move around here in a way that feels good. Find the range of motion that you can do with That next song's called Electric Bones. I can't wait to choreograph to it. So, I hope you danced and just like, how did it feel? How did your body respond? Were you able to use the parts of your brain that imagine when you were hand painting? If you weren't, don't stress about it. If it felt awkward, good. That means it's something new to you that you haven't done yet. It's great to have these new experiences for our brain. If we don't access and put ourselves in situations to explore new things, we lose those neural connections. So then our world gets smaller and smaller, more linear, and that whole possibility range starts to close down. So we really have to explore things that we haven't done before and haven't experienced before to stay super healthy and also to stay happy. They've done lots of studies around people that are the happiest, explore all the time different things. And they especially explore things within a community and exploring emotion as well as physical sensation as well as thought. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you have a really great day. We'll see you tomorrow for day 6. Please share where you're from, where you're watching from, your experience maybe with your dance. I'm heading off to class. It starts at 9:30, so if you're in Sarasota, you can join me at Soul Studios. And I'm also there on Sunday at 10:30. And the portal, the Kai online portal is open, so you can access hundreds of videos there, 20-some actual classes of Kai, as well as another whole section on self-care. There's meditations, there's podcasts, there's workshops, lots of them. So it's a place where we can connect, and I also offer monthly group coaching through there. And it's really reasonable. It's only $15 a month, or $108 for a year, and the price stays that way until November, where it will go up. So namaste. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching.